Pain has a way of pushing you closer to your purpose. It brings out some things in you that you didn't know were there. Some of those things will be for the better. I had the opportunity to talk with Jason Rivers, who is living with pain every single day, but it has somehow pushed him closer to his purpose. Take a listen.
My name is Jason Rivers. I am 41 years old. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, born and raised. I'm a person who believes in the best of my city. I'm a community activist, a servant leader, and I have worked professionally and personally to create a narrative that would showcase all the assets of who and what we are. Even in some of our worst conditions, worst circumstances, I'm optimistic, and I believe in sharing the counter narrative to what a larger society believes about people that look like me. And so that's who I am at heart. Jason in the Christian faith means healer, and I believe in being a warrior healer, and the power of love. So the community work that I do comes off the backdrop of losing my brother to gun violence. The work I do is centered around athletics, because athletics has always been something that's really important where I come from. And my brother, Anthony Rivers, he was murdered. This actually marks the 10-year anniversary of his murder, August 4th, 2008. And it was right after a series of community basketball games that I was actually coaching, and he was playing in with a group, with my other younger brother and a group of men that we've been bonded with for over a long period of time. And so the community work spawned off of his death, and me and my family and loved ones wanting to do something about this murder, right? Because that was the most devastating thing up until that point that I'd ever experienced in my life. And a lot of work that I've done was already in the ministry of outreach and support for my community. So when my brother was taken at the hand of what I'd already been working against, like I felt offended and disrespected in the greatest way, because my question to my city, to my community was, how could you do this to me? And so I was really, really offended. However, through a series of events and centering myself and people not allowing me to go down a destructive path, we were able to channel that energy in a positive way. And we basically adopted this basketball court that had a playground connected to it and a real storied history, and we were able to bring it back to life. And as we brought this court back to life, where a lot of negative interactions were happening, drug transactions, young people fighting, we were able to spread love to the court, and eventually the people started to come, and we decided to put on a basketball league. And so from that league, was able to move to a place to build relationship, because the court is only a few blocks from where my brother was murdered. And my goal really wasn't solely about basketball, because I don't care that much about the sport, but what I knew it would attract people, and I wanted to have a conversation, and I wanted to connect with those who may be related to the individuals that took my brother's life. And so that's the work, and it's turned into something way bigger than basketball. That's one of the mottos that we say, and it's way bigger than me, and it's brought hope back to our people, and especially young people who are faced with making decisions that oftentimes they don't believe that they can do what they would like to do in responding to crisis. or disrespect, oftentimes there's a pressure that if I don't show up in a real masculine, macho, gangster type way, then I'm soft, then I'm less than a man, I'm less than a woman. And so oftentimes the steps for healing and forgiveness, actually there's 3 priority pillars, right? That starts in this healing process. And in the process of healing, there's 2 components that we focus on primarily, and that's forgiveness and atonement. Oftentimes, if I've done something wrong, if I caused harm, if I've disrespected, how can I deal with that situation and still keep faith, still remain somebody that isn't perceived weak, right? So oftentimes when disrespect happens, you hear people pretend like they don't care. And you know, oh, well, you gotta suck it up, that's part of it. But really, on the inside, not just wanting the opportunity to say my bad or to atone for whatever you've done. The reason why I've chosen to forgive is because, number one, if I don't forgive, it will absolutely destroy me. And it's too big of a price to pay. Like no, nothing in life is worth your soul. And so number one is that. Number two, I understand that even though this young man harmed me and my family in a way that I would have never wanted, he's not my greatest enemy. My greatest enemy and the enemy to my people is a system that created a condition that would allow this type of behavior and this type of culture to exist in the first place. So when those young men looked across the barrel of that gun and saw a reflection of themselves, and we've been socialized to believe that it's somehow okay to take a life that looks like your own, that's not of us. That's not who we are as a people. Those are conditions and circumstances that we've been placed in, and that's not the best of who we are. So yes, he caused the harm, but he was misguided and misled, and through getting to spend time and learn his story, and my family and myself, my brother, like this is not an isolated event. Like, this happens all over our country, and we have to ask why, and we have to get to the antecedent of it. So for me, the act of war is this campaign for forgiveness. If we let go of the pain, if we begin to see each other as the brothers and sisters that we are, then we can attack who the true oppressor is of our lives and interrupt that.
It's amazing how Jason's purpose is tied directly to the thing that hurts him the most. He has found a way. He has found a way to still be powerful, to still be strong, to still be determined, to still show love, to still show healing, to still forgive. What are you doing with your pain? Have you assigned purpose to the painful circumstances in your life? Have you taken your power back? You can take your power back from the most painful circumstances in life and find your purpose.